Because
we
you were the guy that was saying they're just letting anyone play. AV Calaway, OV Calaway. That's what you said in the last show. That was the last show.
You're
the last show. That was
the
last show.
Okay, lads, calm down. We just won a match. We don't need to.
I know. It's like we lost a match. What's going on here?
But let's
final. We're in the final.
Let's add some structure to this conversation.
I've got the green in the background. The
Bash has got the green lights on. Adil's wearing the green. I've got the green headsets on. Qasim, what are you doing?
Kids has got nothing but his ego.
I've got my green kata on. Do you want to see it?
No, thank you.
It's live, mate. I keep telling you. It's before
Qasim,
9 p.m.
You've been saying all along, let's back the team. Let's not have a go at Babar Azam and Rizwan for their poor opening partnership. Just talk us through, how did we get from losing to Zimbabwe to beating New Zealand in a semi-final?
It's the only way we do it, isn't it? We don't do it the easy way. We did this in the Champions Trophy as well. We had a really, really poor start, and then guess what? We won it. I think after we lost the Zimbabwe game, I jokingly said it, but there is something to be said about it. We tend to start off really, really poorly. Anytime we tend to go on and win a tournament. Having said that, I'm quite surprised at how poor New Zealand were today, to be honest. I thought they were going to bring their A game, but they really didn't. And Williamson really helped our cause. So thank you very much, Williamson.
It's the pressure. Nobody handles it like us.
It's the pressure chasing, 140, 150 in a World Cup semi-final. It's not as easy as it looks. Adil, we had no right to be where we are in a new semi-final, never mind reaching a final. How the hell did we manage to pull that off?
Bro, come on, man. We always have a right. What are you talking about? We always have a right to be the final.
He was a true green supporter, this guy.
No semi-final or final is complete, right? Come on, man. We need to get away from this. Pakistan is Pakistan because of all the history and stuff like that. But still, look at the support they got. Can we just make mention of that support? That stadium. My word. Oh, my word, right? We should be, oh, man, I can't, I don't know where you guys are. I'm trying to go to Alam Rock and stuff, man. It was
Forget Alam Rock, Adil. I have checked the tickets to Australia, £1,500. If India lose tomorrow, then the final tickets will be £10. If they win, then the match tickets are going to cost the same as a flight. So we're going to have to hold off and see what happens.
Absolutely. Because the match today, Pakistan ran out clear winners. It was a boring match in the end, which is unusual for this tournament for Pakistan.
It's unusual for Pakistan.
Yeah, exactly. How did they do it? Just talk us through the key performance today.
I think, look, there's been chat about Babar and Rizwan. Been saying from day one, you cannot solve a problem in the middle order by disrupting the most successful opening partnership that this format has ever seen. Stuck by that, whether some people felt that was a selfish attitude from Babar or not, the middle order stepped up. There was selection issues. A lot of us didn't feel that Chacha should have been there. He's justified. You can't expect him to take 5 wickets if he's not bowling or score a ton if he's coming in at 6 or 7. But it was the discipline. The fielding was awesome today. The discipline in bowling, no wides, no balls, those kind of things make a big difference. They were just switched on, and they absorb pressure. What was it? That Black Panther, that guy's suit, where he just absorbs that energy and sends it out. That's it. Those. We've been soaking it all up, and now we're ready to let it explode.
Can I just also say, that decision of bringing Mohammad Wasim into the team, how much that's helped us.
That was mine. That was my decision. Remember that.
Khizr has been calling for a fifth, another seaming option in the team, and it's actually worked out pretty well. Farak, let's just go back to how did we get here, right? And I appreciate what Adil's saying. We always have a right, but really we were out of the tournament after losing to Zimbabwe. There was no expectation of South Africa losing or India losing. Let's give a round of applause to our Netherlands friends.
Netherlands, yeah. I'm employed by the Dutch, as you know, Waqas. So they've actually helped other Pakistanis for once as well now. So yeah, you can never see it. I think as you're a Pakistani supporter, as Adil said, you always have this hope, even though there's no logic behind it. And you always look back to 1992. I know you hate it when I do that, but we were out then, and Netherlands, yeah, they put us on the map. But what we should also say is people are forgetting that Pakistan still had to win all those games, and everyone's just ignoring that a bit. They still had to beat South Africa, still had to beat Bangladesh, still had to beat the Netherlands. So they did their part of it, and then we got another big upset. And this tournament's been really good because we're getting these games where anything's possible. So yeah, you might say we don't have a right to be there. You would counter that by saying we, won the majority of our games, and we were really good against South Africa, really good today. And you were mentioning, New Zealand. I mean, sometimes maybe we always beat them in crunch games, in ICC tournaments, and maybe that hangs with you. There was that recent triangular series as well. Pakistan beat them. So I think it's just one of those teams that Pakistan does well against. Whereas, the Indians wouldn't have liked to have played New Zealand because they've got the other equation with them. So yeah, I mean, fortune, but you got to work hard as well. And just, the guys, you can tell with Pakistan, when they're fielding well, when they're just on it, you can tell. And the day their fielding's looking a bit off, everything is a bit off, but they just look as if they're in the zone and, they want to win this.
Yeah.
Do you know why it's so good being a Pac fan? We never live in expectation. We always live in hope. And so when things come through, it's just that much more sweeter.
Yeah.
Because imagine being an Indian fan, they expect it. We don't. But when we get it, it's just that much better.
Because hai jazba janoon to himmat nahar.
Because just to follow up, I mean, don't you think some of the criticism against Babar and Rizwan was fair, and in turn they've answered some of that today?
Yeah, but look, I've said this before this as well. Even if you look at the guys like Kohli, Tendulkar, Brian Lara, greats of the game that have gone through a bad patch. And to be honest, this wasn't an extended. It's not like Kohli, who was like, what was it, 4 years or something? The man did nothing. So really, in the grand scheme of things, after a few games where they've not done well, we want them out of the captaincy. We want to drop him from the from opening. It's ridiculous. Yes, you can question his intent, but his form. Babar was never the guy that went out smashing the ball. Look, there's two types of strategies that people have employed in T20. You've got England and the Bazball, where everyone just goes gun ho. You've got what New Zealand tend to do, which is a bit of both. They've got Conway, they've got Williamson, and then they've got the pinch hitter in the middle. Pakistan do the same, but their hitters come in the middle order, and the consistency of the openers gives them that foundation to do so. So yeah, there's still a couple of things I questioned it with having Chacha in the team. That was the only one. Nawaz and what's his name? You could argue what's the other left armer all rounder? What's his name?
The spinner.
Yeah.
Mohammed
Nawaz?
Nawaz. Yeah.
Nawaz. No, was the guy you kept out of the team. Long hair, Welsh.
Oh, Imad Wasim.
Imad Wasim.
Yeah. So Imad Wasim and Nawaz, you could have argued. Nawaz was in form, we took that. Chacha, or bringing back somebody like Malik with a bit more kind of history credibility behind him. That was the other one you could have argued. Other than that, was there really anything else? I don't think there was. There wasn't anyone else knocking on the door thinking, oh, that's a pure disgrace that he's not playing. There wasn't. So I don't think you can really argue about that. The only thing that wasn't working for it, look, we lost 2 games. They were very close games. One of them was an umpiring error. The other one, we should not have been in that. Okay, it was a tactical thing, but you can understand it. We bowled a seamer early to try and get a wicket. If we'd got that wicket, broken that partnership, it wouldn't have got close at the end, and we wouldn't have had to have Nawaz bowling at the end. So yeah, you can maybe question those things, and we should, but we shouldn't question them by saying, get rid of him, sack him, do this. These are proven players.
Yep. Qasim, just to ask, I mean, that lean run of form that the openers went through, I actually put pressure and responsibility on the middle order. How do you think they've coped since then? I think they were instrumental in a couple of these wins.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't huge expectations, was it, in the end? I mean, yeah, the openers failed, but was it massive amounts of expectation from the middle order? And we've seen a couple of them come in the past in the middle order and smash. I think Asif especially, he's come in and smashed massive amounts of runs in an over or something like that just to turn the game. That's not really been needed, but it's good. It's good. I said at the start of the tournament, we don't want to be relying on our openers all the time. This is precisely what's happened. And now the form is coming back. This is perfect timing.
If you remember, we were saying, oh, our openers keep performing, our middle order is not getting a chance. We're never happy. When our openers are performing, we're complaining that the middle order don't get a chance. When the middle order get a chance, we're saying our openers aren't performing. So look, it's all about peaking. We've always been good tournament sides. The most number of appearances in a semi-final. Final after a while. I think it's been 13 years in T20 since I didn't realize it was that long in the T20 World Cup, but we're in the final now. It's all about peaking at the right time. And we've got a number of guys who performed. Everyone's done something now. From top to bottom, everyone has done something to contribute to us being in the final.
Farah, can you comment on the find of the tournament in Muhammad Haris?
Yeah, so I was just going to say, I mean, some things have happened by chance, which we'll take. So he wasn't going to play in this side. Fakr Zaman was going to come in. To be honest, Shan Masood should have came in earlier. So there was areas of criticism which you could make. But yeah, him coming in, what I think we all love is just the intent. So he's coming out there. Even today, he was not bothered what the situation was. He was going to play his game. He went for a few odd shots, but it was just the fact that he was ready to go every ball. And we've been missing that. So he certainly came and sparked everyone. And I think, him in that South Africa game when we were against the ropes again, this guy comes in, like the pressure of the world's on his shoulders and he doesn't show it. So certainly, I mean, I hope that, he now, even if he has some failures, people don't jump on him because, once again, he's going to play in this way and we need people like that. But he has been, I say, a great find today as well. I think he tried. I would have loved it if he finished it today, but once again, he didn't change his approach. So I think we're all really excited about him.
Adil?
Yeah, what you're talking about, Haris, and I kept thinking of Haider Ali. He had chance after chance.
Yeah.
Haris came and he did what he did. And that's the massive difference between the two. That's one thing. Secondly, I also think Shaheen Shah Afridi, the India game came too early for the guy. If India came later with his form right now, we would have won that game as well. So there's some, and again, of course, with the openers, there was a blessing in disguise, I would say, that they weren't performing with the middle order having to step up and be counted early on in the tournament. If early on, of course, it's all ifs and buts, but if early on, if Babar and Rizwan were on it, the middle order wouldn't have a chance. We wouldn't be talking about the middle order. So, these things sometimes work out for the best.
Yep. Because doesn't it show the sort of strength of character of this new boy he's not even 22 years old. In the first game he plays against South Africa, gets hit in the helmet pretty hard, and then thereafter just goes berserk and scores at a strike rate of 250. Something
I want to mention about him today. We talk about today's game and Pak pretty much cruising throughout. There was a point when they needed 20 odd or 15, and there was about 3 dot balls, and he smashed one for 4, he smashed one for 6, and the game was done. That one that went for 4, that looked like that was a good Yorker, and he backed away and managed to get it. If that had bowled him out, it would have been a totally different story, and we would have been thinking, what the hell? So in T20, all you need is 2-3 balls to change the game, whether it's with the ball or with the bat. And it's about managing that pressure, and he's just gone out, played freely. And I think, the call for him to open and do that, rather than know that we've got solid openers, we've got Shan Masood coming after him. So he's in a position where he can pretty much play like that without the pressure of maybe not having that around him.
Yep. And Qasim, it's no surprise that, our form has improved, just like Adila said, as Shaheen Shah has gotten into this tournament.
Yeah, the guy's just phenomenal. See, when he's in full flow, you can just tell he's in full flow. You can just see it in his the way he follows through, the strength in which he delivers the deliveries. You could see in the first couple of games it wasn't really there. Now he just looks like a publisher, doesn't he? When he comes in and flicks his lovely hair. Yeah, exactly. You show him. No, he's. I mean, it's really everything is coming together, isn't it? The openers have clicked. The middle order has had a time in the middle. Shaheen's fitness is coming through. We were as low as we could be at the start of the tournament. Now we're going towards the high. I'm just saying, bring on India. That's it. Just bring them back and let's slaughter them this time.
Brock, who's our key man in this team? I know that we've probably got multiple guys that we rely on, but who's the one that you think? And I'm going to just pick out one very quickly based on previous performances. Shadab Khan.
I was going to say
he
Shadab
even got our bowling innings off to a flyer with his sort of fielding effort and then his run out. Even though he didn't take any wickets today or didn't bat, but he was, I think, still instrumental in setting the tone.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention him as well. Like I said, there's so many you can mention, but yeah, it's the energy he brings. So even if he's not taking wickets in the field, he comes out to bat, he's been different kind of, slots, and just his overall attitude, you can see it as they're all playing, G'ing everyone up. So I think he's really important. Hopefully he takes some wickets in the final. But yeah, for me, he's been one of the key players. And look, it was a Zimbabwe game. He was criticized as well for being the one that kind of was a little bit too nonchalant. And since then, I think he's shown a lot of character as well, just in terms of he's always in the game, even though if he's not bowling or whatever, you rely on him. He's been amazing in the field. So I think certainly he's one of the key ones to mention. But right now, as the guys are saying, there's so many people you can point out. You can just tell they're like working as one. And, that one thing you'll say about this team, even the criticisms and structures under Babar, they are one. You don't see the politics. It's, you see that brotherhood, and I think we've not always seen that over the years, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, because how about Naseem Shah? I mean, he's not taking many wickets this tournament, but he's bowled 22 overs at 6 runs and over. That's tremendous.
Yeah, I think less than 6, 5.8 something. Well, before the game anyway. If we look at the overall team, and we mentioned Shadab, I think they've got some kind of impact index, and he's the most impactful player in the whole World Cup. And it's not always about, loads of runs, loads of wickets, but his fielding, everything else he does. But Pakistan as a bowling unit are the best bowling unit, the most economical bowling unit in this World Cup. I love the fact that this World Cup gives a bit more balance between bat and ball. And Naseem Shah, the most inexperienced of our bowlers. And to be honest, he was going there with the label of the fact, the pace, but his biggest weapon has been his slower ball, which is the most well-disguised slower ball in this World Cup. He doesn't try overly hard. He bowls it into the pitch, so guys are through the shot on when it's slightly shorter of a length. But the whole unit, Wasim Jr., he's been fantastic since he's come in. Shaheen coming into form. Rauf has gone the other way. He started off really well, but the fact that we've got a full unit and all of them are performing well, and even when Chacha's been called upon to bowl, he's done a job as well. It's, as always, Pakistan are a bowling team, and bowling wins you tournaments. Batsmen win you matches.
Adil, is this the world's best bowling lineup in T20?
100%. I mean, yes, England is up there. Yes, South Africa is up there, of course, but with the pace and stuff like that. But I think, like as you said, like as overall, they are, especially our spinners. We just have so many options right now.
Yeah.
We can turn to so many, and that's the beautiful thing. If a spinner goes for, one expensive over, there was someone who said, why we didn't bring on Nawaz back? He was economical. But the situation of that game, that at that time, we needed a pacer, and we had 4 to turn to. I think that's what Babar is, literally licking his lips, that I've got so many options. And, throughout the tournament, every single one of them has done something for the team.
Yep. Qasim, were you surprised at how easy it was today in terms of the batting?
Yeah, it was. I thought New Zealand would be a lot more familiar with the conditions, given that they are neighbours, aren't they, to Australia? So, and I think they recently had a series in Australia as well, if I'm right. So, they're far more familiar with the conditions. They just didn't look up for it. I don't know what was up with them. They just looked a bit flat. But having said that, was it not 98 in which we did kind of something similar to them, where they scored 200 and our openers went out and just keep me right? Is that right? Yeah, we did that in 98.
Yep.
99.
We have a habit of doing this to New Zealand for some reason. Maybe it's a psychological thing with them.
Yep.
That we have one over them regardless.
You mentioned 92. In 92, they were an unbeaten team.
Yep.
They were easily the form team of the tournament, but it's, peaking at the right time.
And they probably peaked very early on in the tournament with that big win against Australia. Farak, I think Qasim mentioned earlier about Kane Williamson almost being in that same sort of rut of form as Babar was recently. He's just scoring like a run a ball, no more than that.
Yeah.
Scores a little bit here and there, but really he's not that world-class batsman that he was maybe even a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's catching up with him, isn't it? I mean, yeah, his approach was a little bit odd today. You thought they'd go for it. I think at one point they probably thought, we're just going to try and get 150, 160. even though they had a number of wickets left, and he just seemed under pressure and not really playing like the way we'd think he would play and really take charge of the game. And I think that then rubbed off on the others. So yeah, I mean, obviously he's been an amazing servant, one of the best out there, but you can see it now. This is probably his last World Cup. I wouldn't expect him at the next T20 edition. But yeah, in general, it was odd to see how they played. I think, yeah, Pakistan just had it over them. I think from that kind of first, you know, a lot of people have said this today, so I'm not saying anything new, but we won both power plays, or the bowling one and the batting one. And I think he didn't have any answers tactically when he was obviously trying to get our openers out. And similarly, when he's batting, after losing, you know, the early wickets, he wasn't really able to counter. I think they tried. And to be honest, today's pitch, we're talking about conditions, it was probably slower than they anticipated. And I think it suited us in terms of the conditions. Now, there's a debate about, you know, Sunday, that's going to be different. But I think, yeah, he just wasn't able to kind of counter punch. And yeah, our bowling, the pressure was just really good. And then when you see, I say, Pakistan fielding like that, then the pressure, I think, accelerated on him as well as the game went on.
Yep. Because I know you've got another meeting to go to. You're a busy man these days. But looking ahead, who do you think is going to win the match, the second semi-final, and who do we want to win the semi-final? And I know you're going to say it doesn't matter, but give me a right answer.
I think that the whole world wants a Pakistan-India final. Probably even half the England team, because they're not really English anyway. So, but everyone wants a Pakistan-India final. But I think I've got a feeling England are going to win the semi, and it'll be a repeat of '92 all the way through, with us lifting the cup. But yeah, I think England will win. I would love to see a Pakistan-India final. I think this World Cup deserves it. It's been and apart from the rain, you know, the fact that it was kind of scheduled kind of out of season, and that's impacted it. But I think that adds, I feel sorry for the likes of, you know, Afghanistan, who didn't even get a chance to really show what they could do. But otherwise, it's been a brilliant World Cup. And I just hope that the two remaining games are good games. Yep. I don't want to see a one-sided game anywhere now. I just want to see games that this World Cup deserves, and Pakistan to win, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Because I'll let you,
I'll let you go. Yeah, I'll let you go.
Thank you very much.
As Frax just pointed out, Adil, Mark Wood's not likely to be playing against India. Do you think that puts India as favourites for the semi-final?
Yeah, I mean, it should. I mean, on the day, you know, with the batsmen India have, they should be. But again, it's about, you know, whether you can click. And even today, you know, we have to notice Babar was dropped. Rizwan was dropped. Harris got dropped, right? We're talking about these players who finished the game pretty much, but they got dropped, guys. Literally, they were on single figures or just starting their innings. It could have gone horribly wrong for Pakistan. But alhamdulillah, it didn't. So it's like, you know, like someone said, you know, 1 or 2 games is all about one or two balls. Sorry, that's all it takes. I mean, who do I want? I would still say Pakistan, India. It's the blood pressure will go high. All of that stuff. Yes. We've not beaten them. Blah blah blah. But still, it's about on the day. We're on a high right now. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. We want to face the best. You know, whoever that might be, India or England, we'll take them both on. Ajo sare.
Qasim, just in terms of matchups, who do you think we fear, you know, on paper up against the best, England or India?
Definitely England. I think they just have. I think for me, it's a mindset thing. I think with England, they have a better you know, mental mindset over us as opposed to India, because in fact, Adil just said we've not beaten them. I say on the contrary, we have an edge on them in the recent past. We've beaten them in tournaments. We've got rid over them, and you know, right now we got beat off them in the start of the tournament. But if I'm correct, we also got beat off them in the Champions Trophy, and then came back and then beat them in the final. Yeah.
Yep.
So my point being is we have a mental edge over them. So you don't want to be facing England, who have a mental edge over us. I think we could beat India, bring India to us.
Yeah, Farak, why have you been praying for an England final rather than India?
Praying's a bit strong. I just want a repeat of 1982. I mean, I'm a little bit worried, you know, with a final against India, because I think MCG is going to be a little bit different in terms of conditions. I think with England, they have Mark Wood out. Milan's not playing. I don't think they're at their strongest. And actually, we're all bigging them up, but it seems everyone else is writing them off, which is a little bit odd and saying, favored by the conditions tomorrow. I would just, maybe it's for everyone's health that I don't want it to be India-Pakistan on Sunday. But I think it's just, it would be good to do that full repeat of 92 and beat England. And lift the trophy. And it would also mean that all the kind of Indian troll fans would be crying the next few days up until the final and after the final if we won it and they weren't there.
Great. Qasim, we're going to win the World Cup final, and who's going to be the star man?
Just to shut most of the group up, hopefully it's a Babar. Brings the cup home, and you can all shut the F up, you know? I find it very hard to swallow the mentality of some Pak fans because maybe I think more strategically. I think we set our stall and we stick with that until we say, okay, we're at the end of it now. Now change things. Don't be knee jerk. So just for Babar's sake and just so he can shut everyone up, bring the cup home for us, big man.
Yep. Frak, are we going to win the World Cup final, and who's going to be the star man?
I'm going to say we are going to win it, and I think it would be very poetic if Chacha did something in the final. After all the abuse he's getting and saying that, no boundary is too large in Australia, I think that would be very poetic. If you
biggest six in the tournament, I believe, no?
Exactly, could be a biggest six again, maybe even beat that record in the final. So that'd be quite good. By any of them, Babar, Shaheen, one of the youngsters, Harris having another good game. I mean, any of them, but I can see the point around Babar. It would be great to really put that exclamation point. But Chacha would be quite nice in terms of all the banter he's had to face over the years. Vakas, I'm going to ask you, you're not answering any of the questions yourself.
I'm not here to answer any questions.
No. Who do you want in the final? When are we going to win or not?
Yeah, you just hide behind it.
Exactly. Hide behind your pre-scripted questions.
My green headset says it all.
No. Who do you want in the...
I want India in the final, no doubt.
Okay.
India in the final.
Okay.
Win a close game against India. I don't want to thrash them because that's too easy.
I want to thrash
close.
I want that all.
Because then it hurts more. Then it hurts more if you beat them by just a wicket or a run. It hurts a lot more.
That's the evil side. Yeah, I see it with us.
Adil, I'm not going to ask you if Pakistan are going to win the World Cup final because I know you're going to say yes and no doubt. But who do you think are the key guys that we need to be performing on that final?
I think, inshallah, is going to be the guy who did it today, the man of the match, Mohammad Rizwan. I think we need another dawa from him, bro. He was on a dawa sprint today with his interview. Come on, man. We need another from him. I think what he brings to the team is just something confidence and his keeping as well. You know the difference between Conway and Rizwan. You saw that, and I mentioned in the group as well. He saved so many runs, and we've taken Rizwan for granted. How many keeper issues did we have, guys? So many years. If he can keep well, he doesn't bat well. If he can bat well, he doesn't keep well. But alhamdulillah, we've got someone. We just take it for granted. So I think he's going to put in another man of the match performance.
Okay, amazing. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You heard it here first. Pakistan are going to win the World Cup final, no doubt about it. Inshallah, the Middle Order Cricket Podcast will be there to see it happen, and we
won't be there literally, but we'll be watching from home.
We'll have a background of the Australian cricket ground.
Well, let's see. Check the tickets. Let's see what the prices are and see if we can get there.
Yeah, let's pretend we're going. It makes us all feel good. But thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll let you all go. Thank you.
Bye, boys. Take care.
Bye.